All right, this is 12. I know I started saying there were 1 of 10, 2 of 10, 3 of 10, but it ended up being of 12, so they'll still be of 10, but this is, okay, 12 of 10. So, this is the last one. It'll be a short one. I am so proud of all the work you've done and all the time you've spent going over all these questions. Try going over them again. The more you do them, the better you'll get. I am so proud of you. You're going to do amazing. So this is 12 of 10, or the 12th video for Welding Red Seal questions. I'm going to read the question, leave a blank for you to answer, and then I will say the answer. Ability of a metal to resist loads that are applied suddenly and often at high velocity. This is the impact strength. Weld type made in cross-sectional shape of a hole in one of the joint members. Plug weld. Weld type produced by confining fusion of molten base metal using heat and pressure, which is performed dimple or projection in one joint member prior to welding. Projection weld. A record of welding parameters used to produce a sound weld in a record. Procedure. Enlarging and improving the surface quality of a hole. Reaming. Specified material in accordance with the welding procedure specifications, such as the weld also meets the specified mechanical property requirements. This is the qualification. Loss or removal of oxygen during the welding process is reduction. Testing of welds or weld defects and strength requirements using X examination rays. Radiographic. Oxy-fuel flame with excess of fuel. Reducing or carbonizing. Welding machine that produces AC or DC. A rectifier. A drawing that shows structural steel will look upon completion and shows objects as they appear to the eye. Also has vanishing point. Perspective drawing. Think of art class when you're in high school. You had to draw in perspective. The fence got smaller as you went down further away. Perspective. Provides information on the layout of major structural components. Example, beams, grinders, and columns. Engineering drawing. Technical drawing used for fabrication, the individual member or components of the structure for the manufacture or mechanical devices. Shop drawing. The drawing to show how the matting parts fit together. Assembly drawing. Definition. This type of drawing shows how all the components fit together, identifies each component on a parts list, and does not give notations or dimensions. Working assembly drawing. The spacing between the parts being joined greatly affects the blank of the finished part. Tensile strength. The distance the electrode is recessed behind the constricting orifice of the plasma arc torch, measured from the outer face of the nozzle. Electrode setback. That which tends to produce a flow of electricity from one point to another. Electromotive force. Almost there. The welding process that uses an automatic wire feed is GMAW. Definition: pure metal other than iron melts with iron as a major alloying element. Non-ferrous metal. The gas in the plasma arc welding torch that gets ionized as the arc to form arc plasma comes out of the constricting orifice of the nozzle as a plasma jet. Orifice gas. The component of an electrical circuit that terminates at the arc molten conductive slag or base metal. Electrode. A crack which is caused by the presence of hydrogen in a weld zone and occurs at the reactivity low temperature as welding cools, usually below 100 degrees Celsius. This is called cold crack. The change in size, length, and diameter caused by temperature change of 1 degree is expressed in a number of millimeters per millimeters or inches per inch of dimension. Coefficient. Metal that is hammered, rolled, or drawn through a die. Cold worked. Metal identification test that identifies metal by their color. Color test. Alloy poured into a stand or permanent metal mold. Casting alloy. Ability of a metal to resist being crushed. Compressive. You compress something to crush it. Weld symbols used when welding joint, weld type, and welding symbol operation require more information that can be specific to the one weld symbol. Combined weld. Distance from predetermined point to the center of a hole. This is the gauge. The distance between centers of holes across the clip angles on the end of a beam. Spread. A point of reference is a datumum. D-A-T-U-M-N. Datumum. That's a funny word. I'm probably saying that wrong. A drawing to clarify internal relationships between components that cannot be well defined on the main structural drawing. This is a detail drawing. A cutout of the flange of a structural member so that the flange of a supporting member can fit into the profile. Cope. All right. Last question here is, Weld pass that penetrates deeply into the root pass and the root face of the joint. Hot pass. That is all the questions. Let me check. Yep, that's all the questions. You did an amazing job. You listened to all the questions. I know a lot of them were said in a couple different ways. That was just to make sure you get all the information a couple different times. You did an amazing job getting through all this. Remember, if you haven't already, to go over your math part, your fire extinguisher part, your aptitude questions, and things like that. Make sure you know all those kind of things. And great job on these questions. So proud of you. Good luck on your Red Seal test.